Hi guys, EKD here, and today I'll be teaching Photoshop. I'll be teaching Photoshop from a beginner's level and probably to an intermediate level. I'll also be teaching on some graphics design principle, key graphic design principle that's going to help you on your design journey. So stay tuned, don't forget to subscribe even before you continue this video. Subscribe, like this video, and share to as many you feel will benefit from this video. So let us begin. So this is Photoshop, right? This is Photoshop, and when you open Photoshop, this is what you will see. By the way, I'm using Photoshop 2025, but if you have any version at all, it's going to work within CC. If you have any version 2021, 22, 23, 24, or 25, it is going to still work this way. There are a lot of similarities, so you don't have to panic. Okay, so when you open Photoshop, the first thing you're going to see is this is the home screen, right? And what this allows you to see is, first of all, if you have recent projects you've worked on, you're going to see them below. And also Photoshop provides you with some presets, right? But we're not going to talk about all this for now. And by the way, I have people can turn on your mic. In the studio here, I have a couple of guys, but you're not going to see their face, right? I have them, and most times when I want to teach, I like to interact with people, because if I'm just teaching and there is no audience, then I can't put myself in your shoes, because I am the teacher. It's very difficult for me to put myself in your shoes. But these guys are going to, like, they will speak if there's any complications, they're having any misunderstanding, they will ask any question pertaining that. So that would help you that is viewing also follow. You as a beginner also follow, because these are like beginners also, so they will help you. So you guys should say hi to hi guys. Say hi to the camera.
Hi guys.
So they're telling you guys hi.
Hi guys.
Okay, the rest guys, they don't have got to, they didn't say their name, but it's okay. So you can just drop the mic so that it don't interfere. So that's just to tell you that we have some persons here that are also learning with you. So like I was saying, here you have a few buttons. You have your own button. You have Learn. Photoshop also has, or Adobe, right, has a platform where they have some little tutorials they can give you. But we're not going to treat all that. I just want to get right into this tutorial so we can start doing something, right? So let us begin. So the first thing you want to click on is New File, right? If you have not worked on anything yet, this is what you're doing. You're creating a new file, because we kind of want to create a new design. So we'll go to a new file. So the next thing you're going to see is you're going to see different sizes of artboard. I can call it an artboard. I can call it maybe your work area, right? So I normally will like, I see this the same way I see an artist wanting to paint. So if you want to paint, right, you need a paper or a canvas to paint, right? So what you want to paint is going to determine the size of canvas you want to use, right, or paper or whatever you want to use. So just see all this as the size of your paper. So that's the easiest way to see this. So we have different sizes. If you've done print before, you know about A4, you know about A5, you know about the size of paper. Let's say we want to design for a social media. Let's say we want to design a social media ad, right? So what we can do is that we can develop a custom size. And that is what this area is going to help us do. It's going to help us develop a custom size. So let's say the width. You need to be familiar with width and height. You already know that width is how wide it is, the height is how tall it is, or how high it is, right? So let's say, I think what I'm looking for is here though, but let me show you. So let me see the width. I want the width to be 3. I want the height to be 4, because social media designs is usually the height, right? The height is more than the width. So if you do that, then you could change this part. A lot of people don't know how all this work, right? So pixels is for mainly screens. If you are working for or you are working on a design that has to do with maybe anything that will appear on the screen, maybe your phone screen, a TV screen, anywhere, you can work with pixels. You get. But if you are working on a design that you want to print, it's better you work with inches. You get, work with inches. So this one, they are not famous. I don't know a lot of people that work with the centimeters, millimeters, points, picas, or whatever. But if you want to use them, you have to just do your conversions. But for now, I just want to use inches, right? So let me say you are working for a design that you want to print also, and that is because Photoshop does not have feet. So Photoshop does not have feet. If it's CorelDRAW, I know you should know CorelDRAW, right? You know CorelDRAW. So CorelDRAW has feet. So if you want to do principles like banners, maybe flyers too, right? No, flyers you don't use feet, you just use maybe centimeters or inches, right? So but for banners you need feet. Big billboards, you need feet, right? So but for Photoshop you can convert your feet to inches, right? So if I set it to inches, I can as well take it as though it's feet, right? So let me say 3, 4. So this is the same thing as 3 by 4. If you are measuring in let me say feet, right? But that will only be if your resolution is set to 300. Right? This resolution just determines the detail, right? It will also determine how clear it's going to be, how clear your work is going to be, right? So most times I just put it at 300. 300 is okay. If you take it more, or if you take it less, it will not be that clear. Your design will not be that sharp. But if you take it more, it might slow down your system. If you take it to like 400, not because I'm saying that it's going to be clear, then you set it to 400, your system is going to be shaking, lagging. So just leave it at 300. So go RGB, the rest you can leave it like that. So I'll just tell you about RGB and CMYK, right? So we have grid style, which is black and white. We have bitmap, another color and profile. But the major ones I'll tell you about is CMYK. CMYK is for print. Let me say you want to print something physical, flyer, handbill, whatever. So you set it to CMYK. But if you want to print anything for screen, set it to RGB, right? RGB means red, green, blue. CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow. Then key, black. That's black. Okay. So these are the colors that make up CMYK. So you use it for print. Use it for print. Remember I said cyan, magenta, yellow. You have key, which is black. Okay, so, but I don't want to get into all that. It's going to waste our time. Then let me say we've set it to 3 by 4. Then we'll have inches and all that. So if you've done that, this part, if you want to make it transparent, or you want to put a background, want to have a background, or most times I will say, okay, let's just leave that white. Okay, so I'll just do create. So this is it. So let's say we want to create a social media design for instance. So we have the toolbar here. If you want to work on any design software at all, I'm teaching you how to work on any design software. The things you have to locate, there are about 4 things you have to locate. If you can see those 4 things, then you can make magic. Any design software at all, whether it's CorelDRAW, whether it's whatever software you find, right? The first thing, you want to find where the text is. The second thing, you want to find where the text tool is. The second thing, you want to find where the shape tool is. The third thing, you want to find where the you want to know how to move objects from one place to another. Then the fourth most important thing is that you want to know how to import images to your artboard. Those are the 4 important things that you want to do. Just are you jotting or you are doing what? The 4 most important things, right? So let's see what we can do. So it's not difficult. Just set your mind that it's not difficult to. Anything I'm not showing you, just take your mind off anything I'm not showing you, right? So we'll go gradually, and little by little we're going to get something done. So first thing, this is called there are different sections in Photoshop. why most times people say CorelDRAW versus Photoshop and all that. No, it's not CorelDRAW versus Photoshop. It's CorelDRAW versus Illustrator, not CorelDRAW versus Photoshop. Photoshop is another different software on its own, right? And most times why people like using Photoshop is because it can do two things. It can combine photo editing and design together, which softwares cannot do. You get? Softwares cannot do it. Not every software can do it. CorelDRAW is not powerful. It's not powerful with that. You get? So you have to take note of that. Then no, that's for that. So first thing, to find our text tool, we put it here. When you click on it, you can click on any part of your artboard, right? You can click on it and you'll be able to type something. So another thing I want to take note of is, how do I put a color to what I'm doing? How do I change the color? Because presently it's obviously having a white feel, right? So for Photoshop, the next thing you want to note is that if you want to change the property of any object at all, go to your right hand side, right? Not necessarily, it might not be on your right hand side, maybe if you open Photoshop, but go to the property panel, you get, and it's usually on your right hand. That's it here. So if you want to change the property, what is property? What's the property of an object? It can be the color, it can be the font style, it can be the position, it can be just to tweak. If you want to tweak anything, if you feel that, okay, I don't like where this is, or I don't like the position, if you want to tweak it, you just have to go to the property panel. You get, that is where you go to edit anything. So put that in your head, like property panel, that's where you go to. So for instance, I put a text here and it's obvious that it is not it is black, it is not black color, it's white color. So now what do I do to it? What I need to do is that I need to change the color, and I'll find that on the property panel. So right here, I'm going to click here and change it to black. So you just need to move around, just click any part you want, like click here and have it. So unlike CorelDRAW, if you move out of your artboard, you're not going to see that part, the part of that object, right? The part that moves out, you will not find it, right? So you need to work within this place, right? So this is it, right? If I say, okay, I want to change the font, I come to the property panel again, right? Come here, right? So this is it. So I have this here. So the next thing, if I want to bring out my shape tool, I can come here. If I want to involve just add a shape to it, right? If I right click here, okay, I've not taught you how to move. This is how you move your objects. You move them, just click and drag and move, right? If you want to transform, change, you can click here, you reduce the size and all that, right? You want to rotate, just put it outside a bit. While it's still active, you can put your cursor at the side, then you can rotate. See, you can rotate it. So I'm just with Ctrl Z. Ctrl Z is just going to take you back. Undo, right? So we have this here. So let me show you how to add the shape. You want to add the shape, once you right click here, and that is how the tools are. If you right click on a particular tool, it's going to give you some more options, right? It's going to give you some more options. You have your rectangle, ellipse, which is your circle. Then you have a triangle, you have your polygon tool, you have your line tool. So these are different shapes. So what I'll just employ you to do is that you can try things out. Just that's how you learn. Try things out multiple times. So this is having white. How do I change it? You can already guess, right? How do I change the property? I come here, change it to whatever. So there are some presets you have here, some free colors you have here you can use, right? It just gathers the history of colors you've used recently. So it just gives you those colors so that you can quickly just click on them and continue. Right, so let me say this is red, so this is it. We'll have the shape. So the same thing, you can reduce the shape. So if you don't want the shape to to be resized evenly, what you can do is hold your shift, right? Shift will not allow you to reduce it maybe from any side you want, up, down. But if you don't hold your shift, everything will just happen evenly. Okay, so this is it. So if you can know those two things, you've known how to move things around. The next thing I would show you is your layer panel. If you notice, and this is a big difference like between Photoshop and CorelDRAW, because you have your layer panel. So your layer panel, anything you add to Photoshop, right, is going to create a new layer for it. You don't have to be creating a new layer. It's going to create it for you, and it's going to name it for you. Like you can see, this one is rectangle 1. If I add another rectangle, it's going to probably call it rectangle 2, right? So this is Photoshop for you. Create multiple layers, and these layers, they are in a particular order, right? They are in a particular order from maybe the bottom or from top to bottom, right? So I can rename my layers. So that is something that's very handy, so that you make your work very neat, right? So I can say, okay, maybe this is the orange square, or what. You can use shortcuts. You don't have to name or type, because as orange box, you can name some red rectangle or whatever. Red, just something that you can use to remember, right? This text is already great, so it can be here. Then one thing you need to know, one important thing again, is the order of things, right? So it ranges from top to bottom. So most times I show people, I use my hand to show people. So if something is behind this, you can't see. Even if I'm having something in my hand, be a ring or something, you will not be able to see it. But if I bring it forward, you'll be able to see it, right? So these layers, they are stacked, right? So if I put something behind, you will not see it. The same thing. This red rectangle we have is behind the orange rectangle. So if I want it to be the first thing I see, right, I just have to take this rectangle, drag it. So you do that by clicking and dragging. If you want to change the order, you click and drag. You see this blue line showing you that you want to place something there. So that's something very important to note. So if I put this here, it's going to be at the back of both of them. So I just have to take it and drag it and put it at the top, right? So this is it. So just this little thing you've learned, like, is a lot. This is what most people find very, very hard to understand about Photoshop. So I've broken it down for you, and gradually we're going to learn. So let's try bringing something into Photoshop. Let's try doing something. Let's try doing something with what we've learned, and as we go, we're going to learn more. Okay, so I'm going to take this out. So what should we do? So everything here is spontaneous, right? Nothing is rehearsed and all that. Everything here is spontaneous. So we're having any designs, it's spontaneous, right? So what do we do? What do we do, guys? What kind of design do we do? You guys don't have
like a top design or something.
Top. Use your mic. So just trying to ask them, like a what? Okay, so while they're trying to figure out something, let's see. So I'm going to teach you about how to get maybe resources, right, much later, but I think I'll just tell you ahead, like, one place you can get a lot of resources, design resources and all that, is on Google, right? Google, there are lots of resources you can get. When I mean resources, I mean images and all that. We'll study about fonts later and all that. So, but Google is some people have other places. I'm going to tell you about that later, right? But you can start with Google. So let's find an image. So I'm just going to be compressing everything. So I'll be giving you, that's why you can't skip any part of this video, because I'll be giving you, might find something very important, a very important principle. Whereas I may be talking about maybe change your font, I'm just shipping something. So because everything is just compressed, so you don't skip any part of this video. You want to stay, just stay tuned, right? So we have Google here. So let's say we want to do a phone, an ad for a phone, right? For a phone. So let's say we want to start with that. So when it comes to design, right? If I want to break it down for you, if I don't want it to overwhelm you, right? Most times I divide it into two different models. I have different models of design. Maybe I'll teach you another model in another video. But if you're a beginner and you want to start out, there's one thing I call the one image model of design. It means if you are doing a design, you just have to sort for one image, right? If you are a beginner, I want to advise you, right? You start from your one image model. So that is going to make your work look very, very professional. Very professional. Yet you might just be a beginner, but it's going to make your work look very professional. So you just want to adopt the one image model. By the way, you're not going to see this like this elsewhere. So that these are my terms, right? And with tutoring people for a while, yes, I just had to create these models so that I can help people learn fast, right? So let's say we want to create an advert, right? A social media advert for a phone. Let me say Samsung phone. So, and Google has like the highest library when it comes to a very large library when it comes to getting images and resources. So what I just did, I just typed. You will learn. You will do a lot of typing when you are searching for design resources. So I just typed in Samsung phone, and I came here and I saw this. In case I guess you didn't see that that part recorded, right? So we have this, and I just saved it. Right click, save image as, and I just save, include it into my downloads. Then I have this, right? So I'm just going to pick it and drop it here. Pick and drop. So the traditional way or the normal way, you might want to do it, but that will waste your time. It's file import. You now go to import. This is your import, and then importing whatever. So that will take, or you go to open, then you open the image. No, that's going to take your time. Just drag and drop, then you move on, right? So I'm going to delete one. You can see that we have one here. We have two of them here. So if you want to delete, you just click on it, press your backspace. It's going to go. So we have one remaining. So I'll teach you different hacks as a beginner to make your work look very professional, right? I'll teach you different hacks. So we have this here. This is having a white background. You might not be able to see it, but if I turn off this background, and by the way, if you want to turn off any layer, you can just use this eye icon here. Click on it, it's going to be turned off. Click on this, it's going to be turned off. Click on it, it's going to come back. So looking at this now, we know that there is a white background. There's a white background on it. So what I can do, I'll teach you two ways to do this. If you're using Photoshop 2025, just one click, you can do this. If I click on remove background, right, it's just going to go out. I click on remove background, it's going to go out. So this is Photoshop AI helping you to do it. Just move the background just with one click, right? So but if I take it back and I can use my magic wand. So there are tools we call in our toolbox, we have some tools we call selection tools, right? They just help us to select out an area. So we have different kinds of selection tools. So we have both of these here. We have circular and rectangular. So what selection tool help us to do is that I can select a part of my design or my image. Let me see my image, and I can delete it. If I delete it, what will happen? What do you guess will happen?
It's going to disappear.
Everything will disappear.
No, that's a particular space.
That particular space is going to disappear, right? So that is what it helps you to do. Then we'll have this square. Let me just do it so you see, right? So if I click on it, and remember for Photoshop, so that it does not frustrate you, right? If you are not clicking on an object, you cannot apply an effect to that object. You have to click on that object. Click on it, maybe say on your layer panel. Click on it, then you can delete, right? So I can I want to delete. But it's telling me that it cannot be deleted, but Smart View isn't directly editable. So before you delete anything from any object, you have to rasterize. So right click on that object, go to yes, this guy. Let me see. You can convert it to smart object, really. So smart object, Photoshop will just have to help you to convert the image you just placed to an editable object. If not, if you bring it like that, it's not going to allow you to edit, right? So with that, I think, and after rasterizing, no, I think you have to rasterize this first. So this is it. This is what I was looking for. Rasterize. So you click on it. It's going to help you convert it, so you can easily delete it, right? So don't forget, so that you don't try to go and delete something, and I can't go like too detailed because of time. So I go back. So that's what this helps you. So if you want to use any of these selection tools, you have to make sure you rasterize that object, right? So there's this one. Okay, this one is rectangular. So this one will do the same thing. Select the rectangular portion of your image, right? If you want to have a rectangular selection, so like this, if you take out that portion, you get. So if I want to deselect, this one will be handy. It's either I come to select, don't worry, this menu, we're going to treat them one after the other. If I come to select, then I can go to deselect, then it's going to remove that selection. If not, you are going to battle, you will not be able to remove it until you come here, select or deselect. No, deselect, then you can use your shortcut Ctrl D. Ctrl D is going to get it out. Okay, then that's for that. Then there's another kind of selection tool. This one allows you to we have the brush selection tool. So like the name implies, it's kind of a brush, and it can help you select. It can help you select. And I'm just going to reduce. And there's somewhere we call, I know I call this the property panel. There's another property panel we have at the top. So you can see that this is very big, right? If I want to reduce the size, I can come here to reduce the size, right? So just set your mind that we have two property panels. If you don't find where to adjust your object or your tool here, then you find it here. You get. If I want to adjust the size of this thing, because if I want to select, I select a huge portion. And meanwhile, I want to select only this white part. I don't want it to cross, right? So if I come here, what's this size, right? So I can reduce the size here, turn down the size. Has it reduced?
Yes.
So I can select this. So it's just going to help me reduce this. But the problem with all these ones is that your hand cannot be very straight, right? Your hand cannot be very straight. Are you seeing that it has touched this part of our image? So your hand cannot be very straight. That's the problem with all this. There's a place for using those this kind of selection tools. There's a place, but your hand cannot be very straight. So what I advise you to use is, you can use this tool. We have the lasso tool. This one is still like a free form. I want to select, you see, but your hand cannot be very straight. The hand will be shaking. Right, I'll still remove this one. Then the tool you can manage is this polygon tool. Right, this one you can look very well and say, okay, take it from here to here, take it from here to here. This one can still be straight, right? Can still be straight. So what I'm just pressing is backspace. But let me show you something. So if I want to select, for instance, this object, based on this phone is kind of straight, right? I can zoom in and select that portion out. I can say I want to zoom in. What do you press to zoom in? You hold your alternate and you scroll your mouse in. Right, it's going to help you zoom in or zoom out Photoshop. You get. So for instance, I have this portion. I have to zoom in, then I can start cutting. That's what it's helping me do. I can start cutting. You might think it's not straight, you see, because it's this tool. I can cut out this portion, just as though you are trimming something, right? If you make any mistake, maybe you get into this part, you can backspace, right, like this. So you can try it. You have to cut around this object, then you go back to where you started, right? So let me try to delete. Can you see that it's very clean?
Yes, sir.
Can you see? So this is the same way you cut out all the part of this object. But AI has helped you. AI can do it. Photoshop AI can do it. Just one click. You can also use the last one I'll show you is this one. This magic wand. So magic wand, it works for if you have a part of a design or an image that has like similar colors. For instance, we have white, all white here. I can use the magic wand. Once I click it to select everything that has that color in that design. Are you seeing? Maybe not in the design per se, but that it can link to. You get that it can link to. So if it cannot enter into space, there's kind of white here, right? But it can't enter into that white. Do you get? Because there's a boundary. So it will get to everywhere that has no boundary that can find white. So if I delete it like this works like the AI. But because everything is the same color. You have a question? Everything is the same color. So I can use that for this. But meanwhile, Photoshop has made it easy, but I like to show people the way we used to do it before, so that in case you want to do a design that you just need to do it manually, you can be able to do it. So if I just do remove background, yeah, it will help me. And there are other online tools people use to remove background, so just suit yourself. Okay, so we have this. I just want to do something. We have this. So let's say we are doing our design. Let's take it down. So the next thing, if you want to, let me say you want your design to look very good as a beginner, the next thing you want to do is that you want to let's see, do we ask ChatGPT to give us something? We ask ChatGPT. Okay, let's ask ChatGPT so that we have some information. We have some information to work with. Brief info for a Samsung easy social media ad. Doesn't it brief? Shall it be like long? Okay. Flip it and select it. Okay. So let's say this is what we're going to have. Let me say client gives you a job, right? A client gives you a job. Can you imagine somebody sleeping in class? Can you imagine? You're in the spirit. So we have let's say we want to work with this. Let's say start with unfold the future, right? Unfold the future. But this is kind of awkward because in new Samsung you can fold them, right? But it doesn't matter. We're just having just doing a test. So the next you want to get right is your background. That's the next thing you want to get right. If you don't get your background right, forget it. So we have to go here still. Let's say there are different places you can get background. But now this is another hack you can use. If you want to do a good design, you have to understand light. You have to understand light. You have to understand what?
Light.
Understand light. If you want to get design like very easily. Now, if you look at this image you have, that's why it's good to have your image first, right? If you look at this image you have it, what color of light is reflecting on the phone? What color of light? Is it blue? Look at it very well. What color is reflecting here?
White. White is grey.
Did you just say white is grey? White is grey. You can see color. What color is reflecting here? What is the color of this thing?
White.
Navy blue.
Navy blue.
Is it purple I'm seeing here, or is it my eyes?
It's white now. Cause
what color is reflecting here?
Back with is black, so it has to be white.
Wait, I have to. This is purple now. Is my eye not seeing well?
Like that.
Dark blue. Jesus. If you're having color issues, are you color blind? Or am I not seeing well?
From different angles.
Okay, from different angles. Maybe TV is giving different colors. No, here. What color is it? This place.
It's navy blue. Which light is reflecting on the front blue?
This is navy blue.
Yeah.
Was my eye seeing something else?
It's like a color.
Okay, yeah. You guys are correct. So that's like navy blue. So if you get the color, what you do is that once you get the color, then for it to be easy on you, because you're just a beginner, right? For someone that has gone to an advanced level, I don't need to care about that because I can tweak my image, right? I can tweak this image to become the color of the background. But for now, for it to be realistic, to show that maybe this blends with your background, you have to go and get a color, a background that has either navy blue or light blue. You get if you put any other color, there might be an issue, right? There might be an issue if you're a beginner and just getting started, right? So let's see. So we go for a blue background. I told you you want to ask a question. So as much as possible, look for a very plain background. As much as possible. I'll tell you why later. Look for a plain background. As much as possible. Don't go and look for the sky. Don't go and look for the sky to complicate your life. So look for something very. So let's see if we can try this. Any of them. And remember, you have to use a very high resolution background. Very high resolution. Right. High resolution background. Background that has blue and all that. So let's try this if this is going to work. Let's try this. Let's make it big. Is this background clear enough? Is it clear enough? You can't see it. It's not clear enough. If you want to be safe, you can use a white background. If you want to be safe, you can use a white background. A background that is very, very, very clear. It's not really clear. Let's try this. Let's try this. Can't do this. So remember, why I said earlier that you should not use the background that is too busy. It's because you are going to be writing on this thing. Hope you know.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You are going to be writing on it, so you need enough space to write. Do you get? You need enough space to write. Enough space to write. So let's see. So you just start from your rough work. It's what we have. Are you seeing that it's as though the light is shining on it? You're having that effect. So it just makes you, in fact, if somebody sees your work as a beginner, it's going to be thinking that you're a professional, because you just happen to mix or blend a background and an image that already look as though they're in the same scene. You get? So if you have that, the next thing you can do, what do we have again on ChatGPT? What do we have again here? So let's start with this unfold the future, right? So this is not a Samsung Fold. Let's have it. So you want to have the next thing you want to know is that there's what we call hierarchy in design. Get hierarchy. You know what they call hierarchy in life? Hierarchy. You know what they call hierarchy? Hierarchy is just the order of things, right? The order of things. So if you have if you're in a workplace, you have your before the staff. If you have between your staff, your manager, the CEO, you have your CEO, you can have your manager next. Then before you have your staffs, going down, you can have your cleaner, gate man, like that. You get. So hierarchy just tells you the order of things. So in design, we have hierarchy. Hierarchy just means like the order of things, or the order of information, like what is most or more important, right? So anything that is very important takes a large size. You get? You cannot put something that is important and make it very small so people cannot see it. You get? Just imagine. The most important thing here now is this phone. So it should be the biggest. So followed by what is the text? We call it sometimes your copyright, right? What is the text that is most important you feel can capture people's eyes? And that's what ChatGPT has given us. Sometimes your client might tell you, okay, write this on it, unfold the future, right? You can see it here now, right? Unfold the future. So that's the text that. So now I'll begin to teach you about text. So let me see, unfold. So if you notice this text now, there's a lot of space between each letter. So you have this. There's what we call kerning. Kerning has to do with the space you have, the level of space that exists between each letter, or between each letter. You get. So this one, the kerning is too much, and this is where we have our kerning. You should come to where you have a property, apart from the font style. You can come here, the font size, right? You can see the arrow showing you this V, where we have this V and A. Can you see it? So if I reduce it for Photoshop, when you click, you can either drag to your right or your left, right? But you just have to click anywhere you see any figure on Photoshop, figure that you can manipulate. Just know that you click on the icon close to it, click on it, you drag it to your left or to your right. So most times I want to leave my kerning at 0. In normal Photoshop, it's supposed to be at 0, unless you need it. Sometimes you might need it, right? Sometimes you might need it. So I want to make this very big. Unfold. What's the next thing? Next thing. Unfold. The future. So let me type this first. So as much as possible, right. Right. So you want the focus to be on your. So it depends on your creativity too, right? Depends on your creativity. So most times one easy thing that you can apply, so it looks as though even if you're not that creative, there's what we call you can create some kind of mystery. It means you don't want to reveal everything. You want you don't want everything to just go like very smooth, right? You want to reveal maybe little things, not everything. You want to get your viewer to be able to check to complete a word or whatever. But if I put this here, there is no mystery at all. It's unfold future. People can see it. But if I put it here, I'm trying to create some sort of mystery, right? So I just get them to engage in the design, right? So it's not a design they will just look at and get at in the first glance, right? And that is you just using your creativity. So I can say unfold what I can do. Now, before I go further, there's what we call something that is very important in design. If you notice, this is my design, everything is at the middle. You notice there's something very important when it comes to design. It's called alignment, right? It's called alignment. So we have 3 kinds of alignment. We have left alignment. It means maybe all your designs your design, everything is just at this side. This is your left alignment, right? So you should have one of this. Your design has to be one of this. You're just starting. Sometimes, if you're a professional, you can manipulate things. You can just use all in one design, right? But if you have not gone that far, that is either left, right, or center alignment. So me, I'm using the center alignment right now. But apart from that, you need a ruler, right? You need to be, if you get your alignment very well, very accurately, then your design is going to stand out, right? So one thing you can use to measure your design, if you're not a beginner, you can see that everything is just aligning, because I have been doing this for a long time. So I can use my eye to measure things, to gauge things. But as a beginner, you might not be able to do that. So what you want to do is that you want to go to your window. So when you go to your window, there are a lot of panels. For Photoshop, there are a lot of panels that you can't see right now. The ones you can see are the ones that have been ticked. If you see this one is ticked, color is there, layers is ticked. If I untick it, it's going to be out of that place. You see that it's out of that place. So in case you are working and you happen to lose a tool, right? You happen to maybe you open Photoshop and you can no longer find a particular panel, maybe your layer panel, maybe your toolbox. You should be able to come to Windows and activate it. Activate is going to come back. So I want to show something. No, I'm not sure I'm going to find it here. Right? But since I'm here, let me just show you something else. So there's what we call our workspace. Right? Your workspace is just like an office space. If you come to your office, you want to arrange it the way you want to sit, the way you can work. Forget that you're working like this. If someone else comes into your office and wants to take over your office, the person will have to scatter your office and arrange it again, the way it can work. Do you have a question?
Yes.
What?
It's about text. How can we unlink it? Like,
unlink it? How?
To select to be one particular alphabet.
One alphabet?
Yeah.
You can do that on CorelDRAW, but you can't do that on Photoshop. You can't do that on Photoshop. You can't do that. If you want to do it, you have to. The text will not be editable. You get? The text will not be editable. I don't know if there's a way. I've been using Photoshop for a long time, but I don't know if maybe they've added it or whatever. But with my knowledge of Photoshop, you can add. But if you're watching it, if you know there's a way you can add it, but there is no way really that you can separate it unless you want to. You want to make it. You will have to destroy it first. You get? You have to destroy it. It means it will not be editable. It will not be editable. You can now separate the U, the N. You have to select and separate them. Then it will no longer be editable. It means you can't type, change the unfold to something else. Yet you can do that. You get? So as I was saying, come to Windows, workspace. Let me say I want to change my workspace. It's on essential default. I can come here and reset essential. It's going to change. I can go here and say, what happens is that, what is this photography, right?
Sir.
If I click on it, it's going to be arranged as though it's a photographer that wants to use Photoshop. Some tools that are hidden that me, a graphic designer, might not necessarily need. You get? It's going to bring out all the tools a photographer can use. You get? So, but if you are doing graphics, did you see the way it arranged this one? So it will just change your workspace, but you work with what you can do. There are other workspaces, you can try them out. So, but me, I just want to use my essential. I'm okay with my essential. So unfold, so view. Something I want to show you, view. There's what we call a ruler. So if I go to view, there are some things that are not showing that I want to see. If I go to view, rulers. If I click here, it's going to bring it out. See my ruler? So what my ruler is going to help me to do is to help in my alignment. Right? So if I bring this ruler, you just click here, click on this ruler. It's not difficult. Click on it, then drag. Don't remove your hand, then drag. Then it's going to help you. You get?
Yes, sir.
Click and drag. It's going to help you. But I don't need all of this. Oh. Clear, guys. Clear them. So I just need only one. So what I will do. So what it helps me to do really. What it helps me to do. It helps me to know my margin. If you've worked with Microsoft Word before, you know what we call a margin. So you don't want to design that. That's what it spoils most person's design. You get? You have to know your margin. There are some areas you're not supposed to design on. You get. So if I've known my margin, I know, okay, I'm only to design on this place. So it just makes it very accurate. So you don't have this unfold here, and meanwhile here you don't have anything. It has to be even. You get. Your right has to be equal to your left. As a beginner, there's some ways you can manipulate these things, but as a beginner, just make sure your right is equal to your left. The top of the design is equal to the bottom, just like this. You get. Once you've achieved that, you might say, okay, this thing is disturbing me. I don't want to see my rulers. No, I don't want to see my guidelines. So I can right click and clear guides, or maybe not clear. Maybe I don't want to see them, so I'll go to show. I want to remove it. Uncheck these guides. Uncheck it. It's going to go out. You get. But for me, I might not need it. But for you, are going to need it. So that you don't design now. Later, you need to add more things here. So if we add this unfold, so let's say we need one more. What is missing? D, future, right? D. So then, don't ask question.
The essence of the ruler is to help you see your margin. The area
Yes.
you're not supposed to.
Yes, to interfere with, yeah. And what it helps to do is that it makes your design less crowded. So everything is not everywhere. Yes. So yeah. So there is something I did not show you guys. If you look at this property panel, we have other things here, right? So it can alter your text. What is written here? If you look at all caps, right? You see what is under all caps. It means everything will be capital letter, whether you have pressed caps lock in your system or not. But if I uncheck it, see that it's changed to small letter. So there are some things here. This should be small caps. So this means that the first one will be capital letter, the rest will be small letter. This one should be superscript. This one should be subscript, like that. So later you can test all this. If you've used Microsoft Word before, you should know all these things, right? But in case you are trying to change to small letter and it's giving you issue, just know that something is wrong. You have to go and check here if you did not check it. So for this one, I might want to change my font. What changing of font helps you to do? Let's talk a bit about font. So we have three kinds of fonts, right? We have three kinds of fonts. We have sans serif, we have serif, we have calligraphy, then we have script kind of font. So I'll just quickly talk about font. So I'll just go to a font website, a website you can use to download font. So it's called, the most easy one you can use is that font. Some call it DA font or whatever. That font. So you have different kinds of fonts. You have, for this is a script, or some people can call it calligraphy. Have you seen those artists sketching something or drawing or cutting the paper to write this kind of fancy kind of fonts? So most times you can call it calligraphy or a script, right? This one's calligraphy is not handwritten. You use a calligraphic pen or something. You get. So calligraphy and script, most times you can, most persons use them interchangeably, but they are not the same thing. So you can go and do that research. But you have what we call a sans serif. A sans serif is a font that does not have a serif. So now you now ask, what is a serif, right? So what we have here is a serif. I don't tell you the history of how this font came. Any font that has any kind of curve here, that is not like straightforward. For these fonts now, there's no serif really. This font you are seeing here, there is no serif. Let me show you a better example. So this font now, there's no serif. You get, because you don't have anything here. But for a font that has a serif, you are going to see this font has a serif. Can you see it? This is a serif. This is a serif. Can you see it? Any font like this, can you see all this? It has a serif. So that's the difference. Maybe if you check another video, I think there was one video I talked about the history of this two font, why it is called a sans serif. I gave more reasons, right? So, but I'm not going to talk about that here. So I can come here and look for a font. Maybe let me say I want a very fancy font, right? I can come to that font. I have unlimited fonts, many fonts. You can see sci-fi fonts, different. But I don't want to go into all this calligraphic fonts. So I could say, okay, I want to have that D. I want that D to be a fancy font, right? So I can go and download it, fancy font, whatever. Just download it. The way you install the software is not difficult. Just open the folder, double click. It's going to be downloaded. Install. It's going to be downloaded. So it's not difficult. Just look at the name. Tiara. So if I go back to Photoshop, I just have to search for it. It will go to where it's supposed to go to. So once I MU did I forget the name? MUTHI.
Is it on down?
It's not down here. MUTHI. It's crazy. It's crazy. So it's foreign stock one. Okay. So let's just use any font we have here. I'll tend to that. Why is not showing? Or let's see if we can download something else. Something else. Check here to preview if it's something you want. So I wanted something very wide. Very, very wide. It's too wide. It's not wide enough. So you just look at it. If you see something you like, use it. So even if it's this is what Unifier. So when you download your font, try and install it. Let's see if this one is going to work. Sometimes this thing is just Unifier. So let's see if it has entered Uni. So this is it. I don't know why the first one didn't work. Right. Let's see. So we can use another color for this. When it comes to colors, how do you know the color to use? How do you know the right color to use? So most times you want to look at your and I decided to use another font too. But most times if you are designing, this might not be your final or your choice font, right? You just have to keep designing until you find something you want to use. You get. To find something you want to use. So just keep going. If you find something you want to use, then we're going to change that setting. So what's the other text we have? What's the other text? What's the other text we have, guys? Put this, snap it. We put this, snap it. Why?
It's not Latin.
ChatGPT didn't give us another text. Are you kidding me? You didn't look at it. So as you go, you might need to change some things. As you go. I need to change some things. And if you want to move like this, just hold your space bar. If you hold your space bar, it's going to allow you to move right to left, left to right. You get. So certainly we're going to change some chunk, but let's just keep going. I'm trying to create some space for the text that we have. This is a text now. The new Samsung Galaxy is here, right? This is a text. Then so it means we have to give some space. We have to give some space. So sometimes, depends on your creativity, you create, when you're adding text, you create a space for your text. By all means, your text, the most important thing that you have to consider is how clear is your design, how clear is the message, right? So no matter what you are doing, you have to make sure that the message is very, very clear. Message is clear. So here you can see it's readable. Unfold the feature. So that's what you are fighting for.
You hardly make the text see-through.
It's not see-through. It's just an illusion. I just made this color maybe the same with the background. Then it's not looking as though it's see-through. So there's a way you can make it see-through, but I'm not teaching you that yet. So if you have this, what else? So the text we copied now, we can put it. So this one I want to be white. Right? So let's just add up the text. We're going to change some things, but maybe much later. We have this one. An easy way for you to pick colors, right? An easy way for you to use colors. If you feel that, okay, I don't want to use white all through the design. So what I can do is that I can shift this here so that I have more space to add maybe a design if I want to add maybe more things, right? So you can pick colors from your background. That's an easy way to pick colors. Pick colors from your background. There are different shades of blue. So how do you pick a color? If I click on this text, maybe I want to use another color. I come here. Once this has opened, I can go here to pick a color. Let me see. I can pick a blue from this part, so I don't go off, because some persons don't know how to match colors. Maybe if you're a beginner, you might not know how to match colors. So one hack you can use is that you can pick colors from your background. You can pick colors from your background so that you don't go off. Because if you don't know how to pick colors, trying to select a color, you're going to go off. So you can pick colors from your background, just tweak it a bit. Depends on what you want to do. But make sure everything is visible. So for when it comes to design, nothing is a constant unless you are done. As you continue to design, you might see the need to change something, right? If you see the need to change something, then you change it. If you see the need to change something, you change it, you try it, right? You try it, you change, you try, you change, like that. That's how it works, right? That's how it works. Or if I take this here, if you guys have any idea, you can share. You might have an idea. Never can tell. Never can tell. Pencil 7. So trying to unfold the future. Right? You can say, okay, I manage this for now. I can manage this. What's that? Magnet.
Yes.
Okay, I need some very, very tiny fonts here. Very tiny and readable. Very tiny and readable. Let me see. This. Okay, so what's the next thing there? Let's see if we can have all of them here. What's the next thing? What's the next thing here? What's the next thing here? Maybe I want to make this bold. I want to make this bold. To make this bold. Certainly. So if I had my ruler, I will not be doing so. Most times you divide your page, you can divide it into two. You can divide it into two. You can take this down a bit. Take this down a bit. What is remaining? If we put in everything, we can see if we can add any external thing. Is there anything remaining?
No.
Sure.
In the sleek, smart, but flexible.
Have I not done that one? Okay. Let's see. So remember the screen. The screen is still here. The screen is still here. What can we add to the screen to make it more interesting?
Time.
Sure. Time. So there's what we call contrast, right? There's what we call contrast design, and what contrast can help you to do is to create a difference between different elements in the design, right? What this is right here is that we are putting everything just on the background, but we can create contrast that is easier to read. Colors can create contrast, right? This is white, this is black, so it shows. It's not that contrast on your TV, right? I don't know that contrast on your TV. If you go and check it out. When we talk about contrast in design, we talk about creating a difference between two objects. If there's no difference, then it is very difficult to read. Imagine if we make this future black color. Is there any contrast?
No.
What if we make it like a bit dark? Like this. Is there a lot of contrast? So it's not readable. You get? So if there's a lot of contrast, it just makes it readable. So, but apart from colors, we can use shapes to create contrast. For instance, these two might be very difficult to read. These two might be very, very difficult to read. So what we can do is that we can create a contrast here. You get? You can create a contrast here. What? Yeah, you can create a contrast here. So what can we use to create a contrast? We can use shape to create a contrast. We can use a shape and just put this in a box or something. It will help to create a contrast, right? So for shapes, I've not showed you this. For shapes, you can remove the background of your shape. If I click on this fill here, if I click on this cancel sign here, it's going to remove the fill of the shape, right? I want to remove the fill, then I want to add a stroke. So I have my recent colors. I want to use the same color, maybe a blue line. Then there's one more thing. If I want to make the sides of my rectangle rounded, if I click here and drag, it's going to be rounded. Maybe a bit rounded. Can you see it? You see it? So it just creates a contrast, and it helps us to be able to read it and know that this part is different. If not, some people will be reading everything together, and that's a bad design. That's a very, very bad design. Okay, so what can we do to this again? What can we do to this again? So I'm thinking of doing something else. Let me leave this one here. So let's find somewhere else to put. Okay, so let's look for somewhere else to put this. Let's look for somewhere else. I don't like this font that much. Why have I not that kind of font? Not that much. I have that kind of font that can take that one's place. Not the very straight font. Very straightforward font. No. This font is looking as though it's choked up. So at any point, you see, if you see that you don't like a particular font, you can go and get your own font, but I don't have time, right? You can get a font. Then another thing is that you need to know how to lock your objects. So for instance, I might want to. That's another problem with Photoshop. If you are trying to move something, you might mistakenly, maybe I want to move this, and because it's very small, I might mistakenly move my background. So you can lock your object. So if I click here. Once I click on this padlock icon I have here, if I click on it, it's going to lock. It's going to be locked, right? It's going to be locked. If you see it now, there's a sign here. Can you see it? There's a sign here showing that it is locked. Can you see it? So no matter how I try to move it, I'll not be able to move it. So it just helps to save you stress. It helps to save you stress. So you have that there, and what do you have again? So we have one more text to add. So like I said, nothing is constant. Nothing is constant. Nothing is constant. Can we get a globe? Let me see. Like I said, nothing is constant. I'm thinking of changing our background again. So nothing is constant. I like to find globe. I try to check for the clarity. It's very important. Check for the clarity. Nothing. Can have any. Let's see. Because okay, one more or another kind of hack, right? Another kind of hack. is like looking at the content of your design. Looking at the content of your design. It says unfold the future, right? That's why more is what we're changing that. So how does the future look? It's going to look techy and all that. So if you want to really explain your background or explain your work properly, you need to look at the key words you have on your design. A keyword is unfold the future. Okay, so what does the future look like? AI, right?
Yeah.
AI. So if you can find any image related to AI, but when you are looking for an image, you have to be careful because you don't need your design to be too busy. You get? You don't need your design to be too busy. So we are trying to sort for an image that can help us illustrate that without being too busy. Let's try this one. So avoid images with watermark. They are not free. Avoid images with watermark. They are not free. They are not free images. This image has a watermark. I need a very high resolution image. I have other sites I can get high resolution images. Okay, let me sort for an image from retouch. So you can either get, there are two kinds of resources. There are free resources and there are paid resources. So if you are just starting out, you want to make use of free resources. Yeah, those ones you don't have to pay for. But you can have free resources that without watermarks, right? You can see some images you like on Google, you might just say watermark. You get, because you are not paying for it. Because you are paying, you need to pay for it rather. So you just have to look for images without watermarks. You get? But if you want to use good images that don't have watermark, images that you might like, you want to pay for a subscription. For a site that has images and all that, assets, design assets and resources. So this is one of those sites. This is retouch. Right? This is retouch. So if I go to images, stock images, photos, let me go to photos. I'll see some high definition photos. Let me just search for futuristic art. It's not showing everything. So I'm not kind of seeing what I want, but I'm not seeing what I want. It's close to what I want, but it's not actually what I want. No. It's not going to go with the watermark. This is a paid version. It's not going to go with the watermark. So let's see, can we use this? This is a high definition image. So let's see if we can see something more. Okay, so let's see. Let's download this so that I show you some other property of the new Photoshop. Let's see. So that's why I like paid images, paid resources, because you can get a very high definition, and that just gives you an edge when it comes to you designing. So we are taking away this hour. We might like it, take it away. Right, so let me see here. So I'll take it to the back. So you have to check it if it still aligns. Sometimes you might have to do and look at it very well. Let me take this off. Okay, let's see. So there's what we call let me check for the new name. There's what we call generative fill, right? So I'm going to be using the generative fill. So it's very good that you upgrade. If you are using Photoshop and you don't have generative fill, you have to, as much as possible, you have to make an upgrade. So just make your design easy and all that. So I'm going to use the generative fill here. So the problem is that I just want my design to be just at this position, right? If I'm not using the generative fill, there's probably other ways I can get around it, but I think I just have to use my generative fill because of time. So you see my design ends here, but I want it to extend, right? So what I do is that I click on my selection tool while that background is being selected. Then I select the portion where I don't have that design, just a little portion of this design. Then I go to my generative fill. So what it's going to do is that you're going to generate a similar background and cover this part. Are you getting? So I just click on generative fill and I will not put anything here. If I want to see something, I can put the stars and all that. You can try that much later. But I'm just going to click on generate. It is just going to use Photoshop's or Photoshop Firefly. It's just going to use its initiative to create a background for me, right? That it's maybe almost the same with what I have here. It's going to generate a background for me, so that just helps me to move on. You see, so you can see that it's very seamless. Looks as though it's still the same thing, right? So we have our background here. So we have a problem. What is that problem? Contrast. Thank you. Contrast. So we can see that it's not showing here. This stuff is not showing. So we need another further ways to do this. So what I can do is that for this, I can create a little contrast. I can maybe kind of yellow. You can see that everything I'm generating is from my. So this is a shortcut. If you want to make your corners rounded, you know the other time I used this place. So now I'm using this part. It's still a shortcut. Can make it rounded, take it backwards. So this just helps me create contrast. I can remove the stroke. I don't need the blue stroke. So if I click on the stroke, the same way I remove the fill, click here, remove the fill. Then I have this. Then what I want to do is I want to change this to black. Black. Is there a bit of contrast now? It can show, right? So we have one more. We're having an issue with this. So we can change this to white. White isn't even helping. White is not helping. Right? We can do some other things to that. But if I want to add one more thing, if I want to add one more thing, so let's add just something interesting. Let's add it. All right. So if you're looking for any photo, you know that you have to look for a dark photo with little or no light. A photo that looks like your background. If you remember. Will this work? What I want to do is I want to put Messi on that screen. You get?
Yeah.
Is this clear enough? Let's try it. So there's a part of design we call photo manipulation. So if you are not a good photo manipulator, it's very difficult for you to do this. Very, very difficult. So I want to just remove the background. Photoshop is smart enough to remove this background for me. Nope. Christian. Please laugh at messing. So there's a problem. We have not necessarily too big. We have a problem with the light. I have a problem with the light. That's lighting.
Is it really that clear?
It's not that clear. Should we apply AI ease to it? Do we apply AI ease to it? So for this, what we can do is that we can select this for the phone. Let's see what we can do to this phone. Let's select this. We'll take it out. I don't want to go advanced. Because I'm looking for a picture. That. Let's see how this can go. Let's see how far this can go. I don't want to go too advanced, so I'm looking for a picture that automatically blends with the background. That's what you can do. No. Let's see a very clear photo of Messi. Why? What? Pinterest. This is Pinterest. It gets from. That's why I say people should be using Google, because Google fetches any kind of website. This is Pinterest. I see it here. Google fetches all the websites you have. Google can fetch it. So I just want to do something a bit complex that you guys will learn from it. So what I want to do, I'll just make this. Have I taught you about making it transparent? Opacity. So this is opacity. So if you click any layer here, you can reduce how visible you want it to be. You can set it back to normal, but I want to do something too. I want to reduce it so that I can cut this knee part out. So let me see. Cut this part out. Look as though the knee is inside the phone. Okay, have to rasterize. Same thing. Rasterize first before you cut. It's out of there, so let me cut this. So after doing that, then I can shift it here. So it just looks as though his leg is inside and What can we do to this? What can we do to this? Let me see. I think I have to create this again. Let me see. So I'm taking this out. So I'm going to generate it again. So remember my priority. What's my priority again? Clarity is my priority. So because if your design is not clear, no matter how beautiful it is as good as being off. Get so as much as possible. Prioritize your design being clear. So if we have this here, I just want to shift things a bit more.
Does our color really go with this one?
Which one?
The yellow.
Okay. What colors do you think will go?
White.
If you have too much, what do you call it? Too much of same color, it's not good. There will be no contrast. You get? So what you can do, blue goes with yellow a lot. Blue goes with yellow a lot. Blue goes with yellow. So what we can do, did I delete the other one? Did I delete it? Okay. So there's what we call, let me teach you this one before we try to wrap up. There's what we call blending mode. So it just changes how one layer interacts with another. So what I want to do first, before I teach you about blending mode, if you generate something with generative AI, it's going to be separate. Can you see the upper part of this background is separate? So I want to group both, I want to merge both of them. So what I do, I click both of them, then I merge them, I right click, I go to convert to smart object. It's going to group both of them in one. So that's what I want. So remember, this is our background. Yeah. So I want to try to blend it with this background. I want to try to blend it. So I will unlock it. Then there's what we call blending mode in design. It can help you do a lot of crazy things. So if I click on this design, I make sure they are both on top of each other. I'll try to blend this one with this background. If I come here, I'll see different kinds of blending modes. So sometimes you might not see something that works, but you can manipulate it just to make your design so I think this one tries a bit. So if we have something like this, looking at it, so if we were doing advanced stuff, I would have done a photo manipulation, make this more realistic, but I just want to show you something, right? I just want to show you something. So you can have this, you can even shift it to the side a bit. Right. Let's see, what can we do with this? What can we do with this? What can we do with this? So it just means that we have to shift this to the side a bit. Oh. So remember, we might not have our guidelines here, but if you're using your eye properly, you have to know when it is at the middle. You get sure. Anyways. So I can decide to do some, maybe just do something for design to look as though this is being wrapped by the, you get, this is being wrapped, this is behind this wave, you get. So what can I do? I can do the same thing I did to the Messi, what I did to make him look as though he's jumping from out of the screen. Are you getting? Do you get? So I can do the same thing here. So what I want to do is to, now if I'm doing anything to this text, get, if I'm doing anything to this text, it's not going to be editable. I have to convert it to a smart object, and of which if I do, it's not going to be editable again. You get? It's not going to be editable. So let me try to reduce the opacity. Let me see. So let me convert it to a smart object and convert to a smart object. Right, so let's see. So what I will do, I'll begin to trim this part. It's going to look as though it's at the back of this, maybe the wave is covering it a bit. So I'm still click here. Then let me not go that route. Rasterize it. I'll take it out. Right, so if I increase, I'm supposed to do that. To do that. Cancel. Let me go back. That's alright. Okay, so then we'll try again. So this is just like an illusion. You can make your design to make people's, it's kind of a 2D design, but you're making people to feel as though it's a 3D design. You get? Yeah. So is it 2D? So so I want to just see something. So everything you just have to first of all think of what you have on. What is this? Okay. That's the rectangle. This is about rectangle, okay. So let's see. Rectangle 2. Hope I didn't delete the stuff. Did I hate it? I did. Okay, let me put something. Let me just try to make something. So now the phone is not here. Try to mimic something.
Kim söylüyorsun? İyi söylüyorsun.
So Photoshop already has remove and add or whatever, but in the previous Photoshop you have to do is that you use content aware fill or you use you just cover it or something. But Photoshop already has a smart remove. Can you see that out? That's a very smart remove. So what I want to just try to mimic. So what I can do is that I can choose a color that's close to it. It will just look as though it has been created on it or however, right? I can try to use a blending mode. Maybe that could help a bit.
To my phones.
White what?
This one's
How do you know it's okay? How do you know it's okay?
just looks right.
It just looks right. Okay. Okay, what question? So we're wrapping up now. We're going to do another part where we can do some other advanced things. Where I'll show you some other advanced things on Photoshop. But for now, this is where we draw the curtain. What question do you have?
Yeah, the question is that let's say I have about 6 images of
Our mic is off. Can you imagine? Guys.
Is that your dumb?
Since when?
Not. Memory colorful.
Just leave it. Come and sit down. Don't worry, thank God this thing is recording.
The memory card off.
Just remove the mic. Remove the mic from it. Remove the mic. We're rounding up now, don't worry. Remove it.
When they wake us, is usually.
Remove the mic. So let's see what we have. Your question.
Yeah,
Use your mic.
the question is that in which you have about 6 to 12 images of different backgrounds.
Yeah.
How will you blend all of them
If you have about 12
to 6?
6 images, okay, so that is where we now have photo manipulation. You get photo manipulation. Even for this, we're supposed to do a photo manipulation, but I don't want to take you guys to advanced stuff. Maybe we'll do it in some other video. You get, so I'm just trying to use, you see, it is not still looking the way it should look. I know from the back it's looking as though the light is shining on him from the back, but here light's not supposed to get to this part. So there are some other ways we can manipulate these things, but I don't want to take you guys through some advanced things. You get, but you have to use photo manipulation. But let's say you have a design. If you are doing a flat design, really, most times it's only for photo manipulation. Right? You're doing a flat design. Then so you are doing a design where you have multiple guests, maybe a conference or a program. You have multiple guests and all that. You are putting them on a square, putting their faces on a square and all that. You don't need to do photo manipulation most times. If it's a flat design, you just have to tune the images a bit to look alike. You get, so that this person's image is not green and the other person is another color. You get, so for now this is where we are going to end for now. So some other things you can do to blend your images. I'm just going to select all the image, select all of them. So how did I do that? I just click here and I hold my shift and I click here and I Control G. Control G just helps you to group it. Control G, then I'm going to duplicate it, right click on it, duplicate. Then I want to make this one invisible. Then there are some effects I can add to I'm going to convert it to smart object. Convert to smart. So when you are done with your design, you finalize everything, duplicate it like this, the way I've done, then you can add some extra effects. We call them filter. You can add some other filter to just add some color. So if you go to filter, go to camera raw filter, I can say if you add some cheap effects. Yeah, so it's showing you your entire artboard, but never mind, right? So there's lights. I can either make my design be exposed, or I don't need to make it exposed. So I want to just make it dramatic. So later on you can play with all this one, highlights and all that. Depends on how you want it. But I want to go to effect. I want to add some clarity. So I just want to make it more dramatic. You get, I want to make it a bit dramatic, increase the clarity. I want to add some vignette. I'll add a little of this. Then I want to add some green a bit. Okay, so let's see what we have. So I choose to add this. If you don't like it, you can take it off. But if you see the before after. So this just makes it a bit dramatic. Get, maybe you don't want to add too much of this, but it just helps to make it dramatic. So but however it is, if you want to leave it like this, anyhow, you can add. Apart from that, for the camera raw filter, you can tilt it, the color. You can tilt the color a bit if you're looking to if you're looking to bluish, you can add a bit of warmness to it. So it depends on what you want to add, really. It depends. I think I should take out this clarity. Take it off a bit. So it depends on what you want to do. It just depends. Right, it depends. But if you are okay with your design, then you can go. If you're okay with your design, you can go. But sometimes you can check it and you see that okay, this is not really good. You can go back to the way it was, right? But however, which one is better, before or after?
It's before.
Before is better. This is better than this. Huh? So three of you go and agree about that. Then, so but basically, this is a design that has a basic structure. I had to remove that text because I don't want to have too much text. But if a client gives you a picture, I don't want to waste more time to just take me for that time to try to adjust that text and all that. So I just want to do so I just want us to do something quick, right? So this is it. Any other question? So this is it for today. I hope you've been able to learn something from maybe if you're a beginner before watching this video, or you're just trying to get along with Photoshop. I believe this has been able to help you to get to maybe an intermediate level, right?
Yes.
Right, guys? What did you learn today?
How to learn to
That was the only thing you learned. Okay. So, okay. So see you some other time. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share this video to as many you feel will need this video. Next time, we're going to treat more advanced things on Photoshop. So you want to stay tuned to this channel. Meanwhile, there are other advanced tutorials on this channel. You can do well to check them out. So, bye. You guys should tell them bye.
bye.
Voice. So bye, guys.